Morning class 7. So today I am going to start from the biological weathering. वही chapter weathering and soil formation उसी का biological weathering से आज हम start करेंगे. When living beings such as animals, insects, trees and humans acts as an agents of weathering, ये सब भी agents of weathering के तौर पे काम करते हैं. The process is called the biological weathering क्योंकि ये सारे living beings हैं. Burrowing animals like rabbits, rodents, termites and earthworms, they live in the soil and they dig the soil, causing the rocks to loosen up. तो वो मिट्टी को खोदते हैं तो इसीलिए लूजन कर देते हैं सारे रॉक्स को और रॉक्स टूट जाते हैं and disintegrate. Their excretion also provide acids for the gradual decay of rocks. Now the roots of the trees can also grow through rocks and break them up. तो ये भी rocks में grow करते हैं and it also break them up. Mining causes rocks to be excavated and laid bare. तो क्या बोल रहे हैं, माइनिंग जो है, माइनिंग रॉक्स को एक्सकेवेट करते हैं. एक्सकेवेट मतलब बाहर निकल के रख देते हैं. वेदरिंग ऑफ रॉक्स कैन ऑल्सो बी कॉज्ड बाय डिफॉरेस्टेशन. वेदरिंग डिफॉरेस्टेशन से भी हो सकते हैं, which results in the removal of the soil cover and exposes the underlying rocks to heat, rain and frost. तो expose करते हैं rocks को heat, rain और frost में. Now the difference between mechanical and chemical weathering. मैकेनिकल वेदरिंग में रॉक्स ब्रेक और डिसइंटीग्रेट ड्यू टू फिजिकल फोर्स. यहाँ पे रॉक्स डिकम्पोज करते हैं केमिकल एक्शन की वजह से. देयर इज नो चेंज इन द मिनरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स ऑफ द रॉक्स. यहाँ पे केमिकल चेंज में चलते हैं. रॉक्स अंडरगो केमिकल चेंज. मैकेनिकल वेदरिंग ऑकर्स मोर इन ड्राई एंड कोल्ड एरियाज. ड्राई और कोल्ड एरियाज में मैकेनिकल वेदरिंग होते हैं. केमिकल वेदरिंग इट टेक्स प्लेस मोर इन द hot and rainy regions. Now the cause of the mechanical weathering are repeated changes in temperature. So repeated changes of temperatures के वजह से होते हैं and repeated wetting and drying and frost action. Now the cause of the chemical weathering are oxidation, carbonation, hydration and hydrolysis. Then comes the soil. Soil एक loose material है of the surface of the earth and it consists of the mineral particles that formed by the weathering of rocks, decayed organic matter and living beings. तो इससे soil बनते हैं. Soil is an important natural resources and human beings use soil to grow crops. Human beings use करते हैं soil to grow crops. Soil also nurtures forest. The rich fertile soils of river valleys it led to the development of the ancient civilization. Ancient civilization के development होते हैं such as Nile River Valley civilization जो कि इजिप्ट में थे. Now weathering and soil formation. Soil formation starts with the weathering of the rocks. जब rocks टूट जाते हैं and accumulation of the weathered particles on the surface of the earth. The process of the soil formation and the type of the soil that is finally formed is influenced by different factors. तो कैसे soil form कर रहे हैं और किस type का soil form कर रहे हैं, ये सभी depend करते हैं कुछ factors के ऊपर में. First जो है वो है parent material. Parent material is the rock which undergoes weathering to form soil. The components of the parent rock determine the kind of soil that gets formed ultimately. कैसे type of soil form करते हैं ultimately. And next is they also determine the color and mineral content of the soil. Thus we get sandy soil when sandstone undergoes weathering. जब sandstone में weathering होते हैं तभी हम लोग sandy soil मिलते हैं हम लोगों को. Now climate. Climatic conditions as we saw influence the type of weathering and this in turn decides the nature of the soil formation and the speed with which it forms. किस speed पे ये form कर रहा है? Soil forms faster in hot and humid conditions. Next is the living organisms, that is the vegetation, bacteria and animals. It add to the organic content of the soil and it make it fertile. Then comes relief. Thick layers of the soil can be found over plains and lowlands. ये plains और lowlands में मिलते हैं. The slopes of the high relief areas जैसे कि mountains, hills and plateaus, they have thin layers of soil. यहाँ पे thin layers of soils हैं and the weathered particles they slide down to collect the foot of the slope. weathered particles या फिर जो सारे particles टूट जाते हैं वो एकदम नीचे में आके collect होते हैं. Last is the time. The process of soil formation ये बहुत ही slow है. Even a soil cover of just 2 centimeter, it takes thousands of years to form. So, time plays an important role in the formation of the soil. And as a general rule, older soils are thicker than the ones that are newly formed. पुराने soils thicker होते हैं than the newly formed soil. Okay, so up to this for today. Next day we will start from the soil profile. Thank you, class.